While we wait to reunite with Dom, Letty, and all the rest, we're passing the time by rounding up all the spoilers and rumors we can get our hands on. Salud, mi familia. After spinning its wheels for 4 commercially successful but critically uneven films, the Fast and the Furious franchise really took off with 2011's Fast 5, a slick, exuberant heist action flick that bore little resemblance to the smaller-stakes street racing movies that had come before it. One of its biggest upgrades came in the form of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Luke Hobbs, a diplomatic security service agent who served as the film's intimidating antagonist. Hobbs would go on to follow in the footsteps of former FBI agent Brian O'Connor, joining up with the Fast family rather than trying to apprehend them for their big-hearted crimes.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
Jason Statham also joined the Fast and the Furious series as rogue assassin Deckard Shaw, the family's deadliest antagonist. At the end of Fast and Furious 6, he was revealed to be the one who killed Han back in 2006's The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. While many fans still haven't forgiven Shaw for that, he also wound up joining forces with Dom's crew and was responsible for saving Dom's infant son from Cypher in The Fate of the Furious. But while Hobbs and Shaw proved to be so popular that they got their own spin-off film, don't expect to see them in the franchise's upcoming 9th film. In an interview with MTV News, Johnson confirmed that he and Statham will not be appearing there, although he left the door open for an appearance in the already confirmed 10th installment. The absence of Luke Hobbs leaves some mighty large shoes to fill, and who better to step into them than that other wrestler-turned-actor, John Cena. While no character description has yet been released, Universal has confirmed that Cena is indeed joining the Fast and the Furious family, and his character is, to absolutely no one's surprise, a badass. Beyond that, who Cena will be playing is anyone's guess, although it would be well within the tradition of the franchise for him to make his entrance as a villain. Johnson and Statham made the leap from antagonists to heroes, as did Luke Evans' Fast and Furious 6 villain Owen Shaw, who helped save Dom's son in Fate of the Furious. But Charlize Theron's baddie Cypher may also be getting her own spin-off, hinting that she too may wind up switching sides. At this point, it would almost seem weird for a Fast and the Furious movie to bring on a new big name and have them not play a villain. Chris Morgan has been writing the Fast and the Furious script since Tokyo Drift, but with Morgan stepping away to pin Hobbs and Shaw, Fast 9 has tapped Daniel Casey to take over writing duties for the 9th installment. He's best known for 2018's Kin, but Casey grabbed the studio's attention with his script for The Heavy, a subversive superhero movie that is currently in the works from producer J.J. Abrams. It's fitting that Universal would look to a superhero writer for the next Fast and the Furious movie, considering the larger-than-life direction the franchise has drifted in during its latest installments. The stunts have been growing increasingly more out of this world for years. Fate of the Furious even includes jetpacks like the one the Falcon wears in the Avengers movies. Idris Elba's character and his cyborg-like abilities might not just be a one-off thing.
Look at me. I'm Black Superman.
Perhaps Casey's hiring hints that superpowers won't be limited to spin-offs, and that the already loose physics of the Fast and the Furious series will get shrugged off entirely. While most of Dominic Toretto's crew joined the franchise somewhere between the 2nd and 5th films, Michelle Rodriguez has been there from the very beginning, playing Dom's girlfriend and eventual wife, Letty Ortiz. However, while Letty and Dom were closer than ever at the end of The Fate of the Furious, Rodriguez herself was a different story. In an Instagram post in 2017, Rodriguez wrote that she might consider walking if the Fast franchise didn't give women a more prominent role. Faced with a future without one of the family's longest tenured members, or perhaps simply because the studio agreed with Rodriguez and wanted to do right by its female fans, Universal agreed to her stipulation that she would only return if they hired a female writer for the 9th movie. Although we still don't know who the woman is who will be helping Daniel Casey pin the script for Fast 9, we hope that Rodriguez gets her wish and that the script does indeed show the amazing women of the franchise some love. During the filming of Furious 7, Paul Walker, who had been playing Dom's best friend and brother-in-law Brian O'Connor since the first movie, was tragically killed in a car crash. Instead of writing a similarly sad fate for Brian, the ending of the film was rewritten to bring closure to Brian's story with him riding off into the sunset. However, Vin Diesel announced in 2017 that Jordana Brewster will be reprising her role as Mia, Dom's sister and Brian's wife, for Fast 9. Given how important it was to the entire cast and crew of Furious 7 that Brian receive a happy ending, it'll be interesting to see how the series chooses to bring back Mia without killing Brian off screen or splitting them up. Hopefully, Brian's absence will be explained by him staying home with the kids while Mia goes off with her brother to help save the world. It seems like every fan base in every franchise wants the same actor to join up and woe up their respective universe: Keanu Reeves. Information has been murky about just how big Reeves' role will be in the film. Could he be the villain? And if he is the villain, will he be the behind-the-scenes type, or out there John Wicking it up and jumping from moving vehicles like a seasoned vet? Or will he even be in the movie at all? Plenty of websites reported that Reeves would appear in Hobbs & Shaw, and spoiler, he didn't. Just because people want Keanu in the movie doesn't mean it'll happen. Just ask MCU fans. While the original The Fast and the Furious was filmed entirely in and around Los Angeles, the series has since shot all over the world.
You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
In Fast 9, the series will be returning to the UK, with production confirmed to be underway in London. Other shooting locations include Los Angeles and Hawaii. It's important to keep in mind that a shooting location doesn't necessarily guarantee that part of the film will be set in the same place. For example, in Fast and Furious 6, London stood in for Moscow, and in The Fate of the Furious, many of the New York scenes were actually filmed in Cleveland. Still, most of the time when the Furious films travel abroad, it's because at least part of the movie is set in the country they're filming in. So it's a safe bet that Dom and his crew will be hopping across the pond for some of Fast 9, in addition to spending some time in at least one more tropical locale. When it comes to gender representation, the Fast and Furious family has always been pretty heavy on the dude side of things. Fortunately, it seems as though Fast 9 may be taking some steps to correct that. Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, and Natalie Emmanuel are already set to reprise their roles as Letty, Mia, and Ramsey respectively, along with the as-yet unannounced female writer joining the creative team. In addition to these three established women of the Fast and the Furious world, Chris Bridges, aka Ludacris, who has played Tej Parker in the series since Too Fast, Too Furious in 2003, took to his Instagram in early 2019 to tease an intriguing possible addition to the cast. He posted a photo captioned "Masterminding" of himself, his F&F castmate Vin Diesel, and an actress moviegoers might recognize from John Wick Chapter 2, Ruby Rose. Of course, a single Instagram post doesn't necessarily mean that Rose is joining the Furious family. Even Luda's return for Fast 9 hasn't been confirmed yet, although it seems pretty likely that he'll be back in action, even if the photo was taken just during a chill hangout among pals. It's worth noting, however, that Diesel is one of the masterminds of the franchise, both on-screen as Dom and behind the scenes as a producer. Considering that Rose previously appeared alongside Diesel in Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage, and that she's set to find new fame as the Defender of Gotham City in the CW's upcoming Batwoman series, Rose seems more than equipped to join this team of masterminds. In the same Facebook Live video in which Vin Diesel announced Jordana Brewster's return to the Fast and the Furious family, he also delightedly revealed that after a few years' absence and a trip on board the Starship Enterprise, director Justin Lin would be helming both the 9th and 10th movies in the series. Lin joined the Fast and the Furious series in 2006, taking the reins on the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and staying with the films through 2013's Fast and Furious 6. Other directors took over after that, with James Wan coming aboard for Furious 7 and F. Gary Gray stepping in for the Fate of the Furious, but now Lin is back for what are expected to be the final two installments in the saga. Diesel said prior to the release of The Fate of the Furious that the reason he decided to continue the franchise following Paul Walker's death while filming the 7th movie was because Walker, quote, promised 8. He went on to explain that The Fate of the Furious would kick off a new trilogy that would change the series. Considering that the plot of Fate involved literal nuclear warheads, it's safe to say they delivered. Now that Lin, who was responsible for taking the series to new extremes, is returning to shepherd the series through its final films, things only seem like they're going to get bigger. Natalie Emmanuel first joined the Fast and the Furious crew as the mysterious master hacker Ramsey in Furious 7 after she was kidnapped for inventing a hacking device called the God's Eye. Needless to say, she was subsequently rescued by Dominic Toretto and the family, and the next time we saw her in Fate of the Furious, she was an indispensable member of the team. And now that we know she's returning for Fast 9, we can only hope that Ramsey will be a member of the Fast family all the way until the end of the road. We know Emmanuel is on her way back thanks to a tweet she made back in June, but that wasn't the only part of it that got fans excited. In addition to her announcement, she also included a row of emojis that look a whole lot like the rest of the core cast, including Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris. Their characters, Roman and Tej, have long been assumed to be returning for Fast 9, but hadn't been officially confirmed. Emojis may not be the most official means of confirmation, but it's looking increasingly likely that the whole Fast family, minus their spin-off pals in Hobbs and Shaw, will be joining forces yet again for Fast 9. Maybe they can finally figure out what her full name is.
Let me ask you one question.
You can ask me anything.
Anything.
What's my last name?
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about the Fast and the Furious franchise are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.